In this video, we'll be covering how to set up an e-document and send it out to a client. This is for users that have already created their DocuSeal accounts and sent us that information. If you have not done that yet, be sure to do that step first. So to set up a document for eDocs, what you want to do first is go to Admin, Category Types, and Upload Types. You'll have to create the upload type first. I'm going to filter, so I'm just looking at batch message test. And to create an upload type for eDocs, you just need to make sure that the upload type category is set to eDocument DocuSeal. Use the upload type field to give it a name. And from there, you can choose what business type it's for. I'm just going to choose batch message test. And I'm going to default the access to be full access. And so once you have at least these three fields here set up, click the floppy disk to add it. And that's how you create that upload type. So once created, you'll notice that you'll already have a notification added into this envelope icon. If you click on this, you can see what that notification is. Basically, it's just a very standard message that encourages the client to go to the client portal and view the document that you would have sent them. Again, you can edit this if you want to, but this should work for most offices just as a generic message. All right, so now that we have our upload type created, we're going to go to Admin, Core Configuration, and then eDocument Generic Templates. If I come here, this is where we can create a generic template that we can send out to any client file. And to add a generic template, you're going to click on this Add Generic Template button at the top right. Click on this. It's going to ask you to choose an upload type, which is one that we just created. So that one was called Test. And it's going to ask you to assign a year to it. We're just going to stick with 2025. Once I do this, I'm going to click Save. And then it's going to create that template right here. And if we actually want to build it, we're going to click on this Build Template button right here. All right, so on the screen, it'll have an option for you to add a document or an image. And then you have these options here that you can then add to that document or image for the things that you want them to fill out or assign. So I'm going to click on this area here. It's going to pull up my computer's documents. I'm going to grab this test document for DocuSeal. And then it will grab that document. So this is just a document to illustrate how to add fields. So for our initials field here, we can just grab this initials button right here. And that will add that. For our name field, we can use a text tool right here. You can grab the corner of it to adjust the size of it if you need to. For the phone number, we're just going to use another text field for that. We have option 1 and option 2. I'm going to use the checkboxes for those. Add a checkbox for that. And a checkbox for option 2. And then for a signature, we can add a signature line right there. And then for the date, I'm going to do another, you could do a text field, but I'm actually going to use the date field right here. And so that's all there is to it. You can just grab these tools here and then add them onto the document where you want them to be. So once you add your fields, there are other things you can do with this. Over on the left, this is the order that these fields are in. This is the order that your client will progress through this document. By default, it's just the order in which you've added these fields, but you can change it by just clicking on any of these and then dragging them over, above, or underneath the other options. So you can just move them around that way. You can also rename them with this edit pencil right here. And this gear icon will have different settings for them. Like you can indicate whether or not that field is required. You can add a description to it. You can add conditions. So if like a field is one thing, you can set up those conditions there. And so you do have some options that you can then play with this. All right, so once you're satisfied with your document, you can leave it as is. You don't need to save it. It's kind of a real-time update for it. I go back to templates, and I can always edit this template again by clicking that build template icon, and I can make further changes to it if I want to. Now, if you want to upload a document that you already have pre-fillable fields with, you can do that. Again, just go to add generic template, upload. I'm just going to choose our test one again. I'm going to call this one 2024 though, and then save that. And so now if I go to build this template, I can upload a document that already has fields built into it. So I'm going to choose our merchant order form here. If you've been dealing with AdamPay, you may have seen these already. And so this can automatically detect fields that were fillable. And so it puts those in there. It tries to match them up best it can. And then so you could have this already kind of set up. And you can tweak it if need be, but for the most part, this does do a decent job at grabbing those. And then so you could just be good to go once you upload it. But always be sure to test these out when you do them yourself. All right, so to send these out or to test them, we're going to go to a client file. I have our DocuSeal test client right here, and I'm in the eDocs section. So if we want to add that template that we just created here within our admin side, we can click on this Assign Template button and then choose that template. So we're going to do Test 2025, and I'm going to assign it. And then when you do that, this process will send out that email that was found inside of admin and the category types and the upload type setup. It'll send out that message that we had set up in there right here. And so that will send that to that client's email, and then the client can now go to the client portal and sign that document. So I'm going to go to Dashboard, View Client Portal. And you can see on our client portal, now the client has a new e-documents card. It says one new. Then click on this, and then it kind of just has some information from the document, but they can click this review and sign link right here. And that will then pull up the document where they can click onto this field, type the initials right here. They click next, name, next, phone number. And then you have checkbox 1 or checkbox 2. We can check both here. Like in this example, I'm just going to do checkbox 1 though. And then signature. The client can just draw a signature in here. And then they can include a day. Once they click complete and they have all the required fields filled out, it's going to say the document has been signed. Your client can download a copy of this or send a copy to their email. So after your client signs it, you can go back to the client file. If you go to eDocs, that status will have a green check mark here rather than a red X. And also on your home page, if you go to portal, there's going to be a new portal message that says this client completed an e-document. So in your eDocs log here, you can view that document with our viewer. You can see what it is that they filled in. We can also grab an audit of that as well with this view audit button. So that will also have the audit for that. So a couple of things before we finish up. One is the required setting inside of upload type. So if I go back to admin, category types, and upload types, and I filter back to our business type. If you make an e-document required, so I go back to this and make this required, this will then add a little heads up on your side menu here. So I refresh this. It's going to add that green check mark. This would be the same thing if you had a required eDoc that was not signed yet, so it had that red X. That red X would display here instead. So that's how you can get that added to your side menu. It is with that required checkbox in here. Another thing is if you want to create a e-document template that is just for this client rather than a generic one, you're going to go to your client file, you go to eDocs, and then there's this Add Client Template option right here. You click on this. It's going to ask you to choose an upload type. In a year, I'm going to choose 2026 for this one, and I'm going to click Save Close. And when you do this, it's going to take you again to a blank page or a blank eDocs page where you can then upload that document that's going to be unique to this client. If I go back to templates, our eDocs are categorized based off the year that we set them up for. All right, so I hope that was helpful in learning how to use the eDocuments feature inside of your software. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to Adam Support. We would be happy to help you.